If you have been working at creating your dream life for what feels like forever, and it just doesn't seem to be materializing, or the things that you really, really, really desire, you don't seem to be manifesting or attracting, or the goals that you set yourself, you're not achieving, then this video is for you. In this video, I want to share a different perspective with you and a new way of looking at your dream reality so that you can actually collapse time and bring it in a lot faster, a lot easier, and with more fun. And that is to stop treating it like a goal and to start realizing that actually your dream reality is already here. It's already in existence and it's already meant for you. And in fact, all you need to do is shift your frequency. It is an energetic shift. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what that means and how you're going to do it. Hi, if you're new to this channel, I am Kirsty Elizabeth, and I help women release the subconscious blocks that have been holding them back so they can shift their identity, rewire their energy, and recode their reality. Now, before we start, I do have a free gift, which you are going to love if you enjoy this video. And it is a free virtual coaching session and energy healing session. And it is all about upgrading your frequency and shifting timelines. So I'm going to drop the link below in the comments or the description. Just check out the page after this video and make sure you go and sign up for that. It's free right now, but it will be paid for at some point soon. The people that have already taken it said that it's absolutely amazing. It gave them loads of breakthroughs and they left feeling like a new person. And it really applies to everything in this video. So I can't wait to share that with you. And if you're someone that's been watching my videos for a while and you know there are some shifts that you want to make, if you're ready to just get stuck in, do the work, and you want my one-to-one attention, coaching, wisdom, and activation, there's also going to be a link in the description for you to go and book a 90-minute coaching and energy activation session, which again will shift your identity and put you on a new timeline in a new energy. Let's get back to the video. I want to talk to you about frequency. Everything in this world, everything in this universe, everything is made up of energy. And I didn't understand this for the longest time. It took me most of my life, actually, before I discovered about manifestation, personal development, all these things. And I learned about energy, what Einstein was telling us forever, right? Everything is energy. Is basically how we are feeling, how we are thinking, how we're showing up, the actions that we're taking. All of this contributes to our frequency. And based on that, we are going to experience a reality that is in resonance, that is in harmony with that frequency. Now, the problem that most of us encounter is that only 5% of our mind is conscious. So we only have access to 5% of our mind. 95% is subconscious. And this is all held within our body as well. And we have all sorts of things going on in there. We have stored, suppressed emotions, things from our childhood, things from our past, all those times that we've just suppressed things and pushed things down and we haven't wanted to think about them, deal with them, or we just haven't had the resources at the time to deal with things that have been incredibly painful, incredibly traumatic. This goes on for years and years and years, and we push all these things down. Our subconscious holds all our memories, our subconscious beliefs, it holds our identity, our self-image. It holds and stores everything. So while we're sat there thinking, it's okay, I'm in the right frequency, actually, our subconscious is probably telling a completely different story, and you will know the frequency you're in from the reality you're creating around you right now. So whatever you're experiencing in all areas of your life, in the area that you're trying to create deep change in, or a couple of areas in your life, whatever you're experiencing, you are an energetic match for right now. So now let's talk about the idea of your dream reality being a goal. This held me back for the longest time because it kept me thinking that I had to struggle and strive and fight for what I wanted. We've been conditioned to really take this hustle approach, fighting for our goals, fighting for our dreams, trying, right? It's all about the doing. It's all about the masculine energy. There's never been any mention of energy, of frequency, of who we're being, of how we're showing up. It's all about the actions we take. So when we have this dream reality, we're consistently taking the actions towards that goal. But the problem is if we are coming at it from an energy that is on a completely different vibrational frequency to the goal that we're operating, the goal that we're trying to get, then we're just going to miss it. We can't ever hit it. We can't ever reach it. So that's just one aspect of this. It's the energy we're coming from and putting into our actions, into our words, every single word, every thought you've had, everything carries its own energetic frequency. Even the ones you keep to yourself, even the ones that are hidden in there, including the inner critic, including the judgments, the blames, the complaining, all of these things, they're all still forming part of your energetic frequency. And they will determine whether or not we're a match for what we want, right? Another thing to consider is if we're making our dream reality a goal, then what we're saying is it's separate from us. So we're over here and our goal's over there, and it's always going to be over there, right? Because we're keeping it separate from us. But if we look at things from a spiritual perspective, everything's already been created. Energy can't be created or destroyed. And also what it is that we want, those desires, those things that are coming, that light our soul up, the things that excite us, the things that we think we can only dream of having, we're supposed to have them. And many worlds theory and quantum physics shows us there are multiple realities coexisting all the time. And there is actually, in fact, already a version of you that is living this reality. So it's already in existence. It's already real. It's already happening. It's just your energetic frequency right now is not attuned to the same frequency of that life. And so this really is what's holding you back and keeping you separate from it. The other thing about treating it as a goal is not only are we striving from it, not only are we separate from it, but the separation creates this need and this lack. And then we feel into that lack. So we start operating and feeling from and moving around the world in a lack energy and a needing energy. There's no faith, there's no trust, there's no surrender. And we all know they are key spiritual and manifestation principles. But that's not there because we're just feeding into the fact that we don't have it. We've never had it. Are we ever going to have it? So again, even though we're taking action, that dream life is just staying as far away from us as it was in the start because we're just not meeting it at an energetic level. Now, I got to put this to the test a few years ago when I started really getting into manifestation, subconscious reprogramming, identity work, and I took the journey inwards. It was when my business was failing. I'm sure many of you have heard the story already, but my business was failing. I was running it with a partner, and the more the sales were going down, the more we were feeding into that lack and worry and anxiety. And it just had a compound effect and it was building momentum. And the more we focused on what was going down, the more we focused on what was missing, the more that transpired. So we didn't get paid for several months. We literally were about to close the business when I started getting into this work. We had nothing to lose. So I went all in on my mindset. I went all in on my subconscious programming, and I really built my belief, my trust, my faith from the inside out. I started feeling really into possibility, potentiality. I started taking other people's successes as signs that I could do the same, that we could do the same in our business. I stopped buying into what was happening and believing what was happening in the circumstances around me. And I started going inwards and creating the scenarios and the images and the experiences that I would prefer. And I made a commitment that year we were going to bring in a £1 million sales, which we'd never done in the previous years that we'd been in business. And bearing in mind, we were just about to close the doors because we weren't getting any sales. And sure enough, within 12 months, I think it might have been 13 months, but over the 12-month period, we actually hit the £1 million sales goal, all from a £25 product. It was unreal. Now, this demonstrated to me and showed me the change in our frequency having such a radical effect on what was happening, because it doesn't just align you to different opportunities, different synchronicities. It literally opens you up to a new world, but you're thinking in a completely different way. You're feeling in a completely different way. And when you're like that, your mind expands and opens up. You see different things. You see the opportunities that were already in front of you, but you couldn't see them before. You stop, instead of focusing so much on the problem and being stuck and I can't get anywhere, or trying to move away from it and get away from it and fight where you are. You're then over here with an expanded mindset, trusting that something's going to come up, something's going to happen, you're going to get some kind of clarity somewhere. And then with that energy and that openness and that level of consciousness, you start finding the answers to your questions, the solutions to your problems, and all these things sort of start unraveling in magical and miracle ways. And suddenly you're in the world of possibility and potentiality instead of being stuck in a pattern and a loop of control and negativity and scarcity. So wherever we're putting our attention is basically what we're going to be bringing back in. So it is all energy. It is all frequency. Now, what I'd love for you to do in the comments below is not only write what your ahas are, what's coming through for you right now as we're having this conversation, but I would also love for you to just spend a second to think about the times when you've been in higher frequencies, you've been feeling good, you've been feeling positive and aligned, like there's a level of belief or a level of certainty, or maybe just a level of excitement and curiosity. We don't even need to have this deep belief. If we can just be open-minded and not believe that it can't happen, but be open-minded, stay as an open channel and stay curious, childlike almost, we're still going to invite those synchronicities, opportunities, and the results that we want in. So just write in the comments, when was a time in your life where this has been true for you? Because that's going to help you integrate what you're hearing with me now. And it's not just then going to be another video that you just watch and forget about 10 minutes later. It's actually going to create a shift and a change in you where you remember that this is true, where you don't just resonate with it, but you actually embody it because it's real. And then that will help you start to focus on shifting your frequency instead of treating your dream reality like a goal and these series of steps that you have to do. It's so about who you're being. Even Tony Robbins says it's success is 80% psychology, 20% strategy. But Proctor used to say it was 95% mindset, 5% strategy. And this is because who you're being, the energy, the frequency that you're in, before you take the action, as you take the action, and while you hold space to receive the result of the action, that is the energy that matters. Like I said earlier, if you're coming at it from a state of lack and scarcity and fear and anxiety, that's what you're going to bring back. We can only ever receive what we're in an energetic match for. So I hope this has given you some amazing clarity. If this resonates and you want to start acting on this right now, go get the Shift virtual one-to-one coaching and energy healing session. I've got linked up in the notes below. It is pre-recorded. It doesn't make it any less powerful. Trust me, I've had several people go through this now and they've all absolutely loved it. So go and do that. That's completely for free. And I just invite you to just start noticing, what is your frequency right now? How do you feel? What are those dominant emotions that are happening? How do you feel in relation to your dream life? Is it even a possibility right now? Does it feel so far away that it is so separate? Or does it feel like you're on the verge and it's almost there? You can't quite bring it in, but you know it's inevitable and you know it's about to happen. Or are you somewhere in the middle? Also, let me know. Let me know in the comments where you sit with this. And don't forget, you don't have to do this alone. So if you need my eyes on your roadblocks so you can actually peel away the layers that have been holding you back, release those patterns, release those subconscious blocks, and actually move into the person that you are destined to be, that you came here to be, that you know inside you already are, make sure you book one of those sessions. I only release a couple of weeks, so go grab one and let's shift your frequency and recode your reality right now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all of you coming and supporting this channel. I love creating content for you. So make sure you do comment in the comments section so I can hear your ahas and your breakthroughs. And of course, please like, share with a friend and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.